Hello, everyone. Phoenix Tremayne here with an impromptu live segment. So I don't know how many people will come on because I didn't announce this live at all. But, a lot's going on as we get ready for February sweeps. And I wanted to start going over things with people and talking with people about the soaps that we love and, all the great things that are happening. So we're going to go on ahead and wait for some people to show up. Okay, I see Sandy Moon is here and David Damron. Thank you guys for coming in. Hey, Jacarius and Cheryl and Dania. Thank you all for jumping in. I know that uh, I didn't announce this, but I'm glad to see some folks was awoke and ready to jump in on this live with me. Uh, so we've got 32 people in the first minute and counting. Kiki Landry, Danielle, Monique, Juan, Clarence, Cheryl. How everybody doing? Honey Smile 320, Rebecca, Paulette, Leanne. So I'm gonna start off with General Hospital. One of the subscribers has said in the comment section, would Sunny be arriving on General Hospital on Valentine's Day? And I was like, no, it's really not that kind of party over at General Hospital where they would be, hey, Jolie, thank you for joining us. And Janet, first timers. Uh, oh, this is Monique. This is the very beginning. I've only been on for like a minute. Um, you're welcome, Cheryl. But yeah, General Hospital's not trying to be romantic and reunite Carly and Sonny on Valentine's Day. She didn't kidnap the kid and she's getting her comeuppance at his funeral, and they have a lot going on, and none of it is romance. And Jacarius, when it comes to like the truth with Nell, uh, I think finally this week Nina will get sort of a confirmation about Nell being her daughter, because she's the spoilers talking about missed opportunities she's gonna be thinking about on Monday, and Jax is gonna be telling Nina that she can trust Carly. So I feel like Jax is not gonna tell her the whole truth, just enough so that she do realize Nina was her daughter. I mean, Nell was her daughter. But and Jakari's is saying Alexis better watch out for Alexis, but I think you mean Olivia, because Olivia is like this is one of those fun soap ironies where Olivia went out of her way to help Alexis, stab Tracy in a bus in the back, threw her under the bus. Didn't even go to Tracy first to really be like, look, we're trying to find out the truth, something. But she wasn't a true Quartermaine, where they used to fight within each other, but they would watch their back from outsiders. So yeah, she went all out of her way to help Alexis, and next thing you know, Alexis is sleeping with her husband and stabbing her son. So yeah, I'm fine with Sonny's new storyline. I would actually love for Sonny to find a new love interest while he is mentally impaired with his amnesia. And that way, when he does come back home, there's a romantic conflict, because honestly, Sonny and Carly are better when they're at odds with one another, when they have that fire and friction. But when they're just a couple, they're very boring together. More. That's how people started noticing the moss sitting on the kitchen counter because nothing else was going on at the house. Hey Gwen, how are you? Um, oh, Jacarius, I love Liz. Liz is one of my favorite characters ever. Uh, Ryan will be showing back up February sweeps. According to the spoilers, they teased that an outside force is going to try to stop Ava from marrying Nicholas with their vow renewals. And the only outside force I can think of would be Ryan, since he's pretending to actually be uh, impaired. But I would love for Sonny to get a love interest and then realize, oh crap, I got a wife too. Or maybe even Sonny be torn between his new life and his old life, especially if he like goes home and sees Carly in bed with Jax or Carly in bed with Jason or something, and then he may want to go back to his old life and I mean his new life. So I think that could be interesting things to happen. Um, what else is going on? See, I really don't care about the Peter storyline with this double wedding coming out because they dragged out Peter's story for so long and then didn't even ignored it for so long that I don't really care at this point. And him and Maxie are boring as a couple, so I don't really care about whether they had gotten married or not. And I don't care about Anna and Finn as a couple. They're another boring couple out there. But I do want to see the drama about Finn finding out Chase is his son. Because if Chase is really Gregory's son, that's not where the drama is. The drama is finding out that your brother is actually your father. That's where the real drama comes in. That's how you can figure out who's the real father. Is where's the most drama going to come from? So while we're talking about baby daddies, we can talk about Bold and Beautiful. This is going to be a fun week for Brooke fans, as Brooke finds out on Monday from Hope that Steffi might be pregnant with Liam's child. And I just saw the picture today of Catherine Kelly Lang and Anika, I think it's Noel, uh, crying and looking upset from Monday's episode. So yeah, that should be good. And then she confronts Steffi on Wednesday, and then Steffi tells Ridge what happened on Thursday. So that should be a lot. I'm really not invested in the Carter Zoe storyline. Zoe's going to spend most of this week trying to save her relationship with Carter when she got her get out of jail free card by right now, just like coming clean. I have feelings for Zende, and I want to see where it's going to go. And you rushed me into an engagement, and I'm sorry this is going to hurt, but yeah, I want to see where things go with Zende. Hey Tracy. So yeah, I think that Zoe had a great opportunity to switch to get an opportunity with Zende, and then if I was writing it, just when Zende and Zoe look like, okay, they caused all that drama and they're about to be a couple, if I was the writer, that's when I would bring Nicole back. Because technically, I think he's still married. And then Zoe threw Carter away for nothing because now uh, Zende's wife is back. And we never found out why they broke up, so it could have been over something minute. Kiki Landry says, I don't feel bad for Hope. Well, and I think a lot of people don't feel bad for Hope just because Hope was kissing on Liam when he was married to Steffi. And a lot of people was like, this is just karma. It just took a minute to come back around. Um, Actually, I don't want Zende with Paris just because I think the actor who plays Zende can't act. I would actually love for Carter and Paris to have a relationship that's interesting, but not um, the same typical dramatic routes that you would expect them to go. I think that there's so much unexplored territory with two good people being together and other things in life that can happen other than sleeping with a sister or something. And then maybe having Zoe be mad because, Nicole's back and she can't have Zende, and then her sister's with Carter and she's on the outside and then causing trouble. I was thinking the same thing, Honey Smile 320, that Brooke is gonna zero in on Steffi like she's Taylor and go all the way off when technically Steffi, you know, yeah, she's at fault too, but she's not married to Hope. The person who Brooke should make a beeline to would 100% be Liam, having him looking stupid and saying as usual, I'm sorry. So Cheryl says the storylines on Bone Move have been stupid. They should have kept Maya on and her family on. I agree, but I felt like Zende Rome Flynn was their muse. And once they lost interest in once Rome Flynn quit the show, they were like, just let all those N words go. And then they tried to start over, and yeah, we see how they turned out. And I also agree, I would love for Hope and Thomas to be together. Hope and Thomas, they have actually a lot of passion and stuff. I know that people who focus on certain history, you know, they find it a hard time to give it the program. They would love for a boring version of Hope to be with a boring version of Liam, and for them to sit there and play with the kids all day, um, every afternoon when they turn on the show. Oh, look at them playing with the kids again. And then when the ratings go down, they're gonna be like, God, what happened? Uh, so this is a General Hospital on Sam of Jason because of the danger. Now rumor says she's supposed to be starting something with Dante. He's just as dangerous. Well, here's the thing: nobody knows Dante is being mind controlled, and it's not even just Dante that they had batted around potentially being with Sam. Um, Brando was out there for a while, but it's a soap opera. I think most fans just want Drew to come back, and since Billy Miller isn't returning, what they gonna do? But if she had a choice between a former cop with PTSD and a hitman that kills people for a living on a regular basis, that don't really give two issues about his kids. He most of the time when he's in the scene with his kids, he run like hell. Like, oh crap, one of my kids. Oh, sorry, kid, I gotta go. Every blue moon you'll see Jason actually interacting with his kids like a father. Or actually, he's never. Jason never, ever, ever has acted like a father to any of those children. He's acted more like a godfather or an uncle. Maybe his their mother's best friend. But Jason is not the type to show any kind of fatherly love or attention to the kids. Most likely, he's more like, look, I'll pay all your bills. I'll come and get some kitty, and then don't bother me about the kids. He's one of those kind of guys. But there's so many people that went Sam with the bad boy who don't really care about his kids or his family. Yeah, I think a lot of us can't with Liam. And also, I really dislike his brother Wyatt just because of what he did with Sally. It made me want Wyatt and Flo to take a long trip because the only thing Flo brings to Bold and the Beautiful is breast. Period. Her looks, and the show knows it. That's why she. I saw her in a promo for Bold and Beautiful. She was in a two piece bikini. I was like, well, at least they know where her talent is because it sure isn't acting. Um, so I'm surprised I haven't seen any Days of Our Lives stuff being thrown um, out there to talk about. So I think most people know I stopped watching Young and the Restless in November. I said I would come back at the end of December to see like Amanda scene with her mother, which was a waste of time that I didn't like. So I stopped watching the show again. Now I said, New Year's, let me come back and see Was going on New Year's, and then I watched like two episodes with Summer, Billy, Kyle, and Lily on a plane, and I was like, this is not for me. And so I stopped watching the wrestlers again. I said I would try again February sweeps to see if it could generate an interest. But so far, no Young the Wrestler spoiler and no Young the Wrestlers. Young the Wrestlers had, of all of the shows that released February sweep spoilers, General Hospital released the most, then Days of Our Lives, then it was Bold and Beautiful, which was half of them, and then Young the Wrestlers was half of Bold and Beautiful. So it was like you didn't even have enough material for sweeps storylines to actually give the people some things to really get excited about or talk about. You The same thing that's going on in February sweeps is the same thing was happening back in November when I left. So except now Victoria wants Billy. That's the only difference I see, and Chelsea's in a chair. But it's still the whole Abby Chance BS, and it's still, Mariah and Tessa aren't acting like a real couple. They just bring Tessa on every now and then to go, hey, they're still lesbians. Okay, now go somewhere. We may give you a couple of week storyline so that I'm sorry, give you a couple week storyline so we can see if we can get a GLAAD award or something. But yeah, Young the Restless is sorry as hell. So I see a Days of Our Lives. Who do you think the victim murder mystery is? It's gonna be Charlie. Charlie's getting killed, which is, of course Sammy will be the main suspect. So yeah, Charlie's the murder victim. He's the person who there's the most suspects out there. And while we're talking about Charlie and Days of Our Lives, can I please get a consensus on this? I think the actress that plays Allie is not a good actress. I think that she has taken this storyline and she's had the same facial expression. She can't cry. That flashback scene I thought was going to be this horrendous scene that would shock the audience and grab the pearls or something. He just grabbed her by the wrist. And then he walked away and said, Aretha Dirche. Oh, man. I was like, I didn't expect a full on scene. But in another thing, the way they kept describing Allie being piss poor drunk, didn't know where she was at, couldn't stand. I was like, yeah, this actress don't even know how to act drunk. She was super lucid when I was looking. Like you really couldn't tell that you went from a blonde to a brunette. Trip being a blonde, and you couldn't tell the difference between him and the brunette, which is Charlie. You couldn't tell it was two different guys. You didn't remember because you didn't want to remember. You just put it out your mind when you were so sure that it was a trip. You know, yeah, that was disappointing. That was disappointing. The room should have been a little darker. Um, they could have done extreme close-ups to show emotional distress. You didn't have to actually show the act, but they could have actually shown that, she was crying as he was leaving or something, looking very distraught. And she kind of rolled over and went to sleep. I'm like, um, even the other Sierra did a better job than this, and she can't act at all. So I was extremely disturbed by people coming in the comment section saying how much they love this version of Allie, and I'm like, um, the storyline itself is impactful. It should make you feel for the character, but this actress is not putting in the time. Period. To be a good character. So I just want to see in the comment section. Those of you that watch Days of Our Lives, if you uh, agree that Allie is a good actress, go ahead and put a heart in the comment section. You know, but if you think I'm right, just go ahead and put it like a thumbs up that yeah, Phoenix, you're right. So yeah, she is the worst. One of the worst actresses out there, you know. And I gotta disagree with this too. I do love me some Nancy Lee Grahn, but she is not the best drunk. You know, Nikki over on Young the Restless, she can give you a good drunk. You know, there's a couple other people that I like that were drunks, but yeah, Alexis has been a boring drunk to me. You know, mm-mm. This has been the worst alcohol. Mm, they killed Julian for this. I wouldn't count my chickens until they're hatched about. Thank you. I see the thumbs up. Thank you very much, everybody. They're giving me the thumbs up about Allie. Oh, and Antoinette threw in Allie and Claire because that Claire, she ain't winning no Emmys no time soon. Olivia Rose Keegan deserved that Emmy for playing Claire, but this new Claire, she need to go back to Canada. I'm sorry, she was on like I think a Canadian show uh, about ballet dancers, or was it Australian? Well, she needs to either go back to Canada or Australia, and work on her acting skills, take some classes. But yeah, we need a new Claire, and we need a new Allie stat. Even Allie's apology to Trip was sorry. I was like, she don't know how to show facial expressions, and she's not even one of those actresses that have Botox. I'm like, that we waited what 6 months for that apology? But as I was saying, Victor on Days of Our Lives, Victor is going to get his son Philip out of trouble, and he's gonna, I guess, let him stay at Titan. This is gonna make Xander really upset, and Xander's gonna quit Titan, and Gabby is gonna offer Xander a job at Gabby Chic. And I had mentioned this. People said I was wrong. I said that Ron did an article. They even acknowledged the article exists and said the writer just said that. But Ron said that there was a chance that Xander and Gabby might become a couple. And now Xander and Gabby are going to be working together. I'm just putting the pieces together. Sarah Sarah might need to get some Kleenex for some Dr. Miles for them tears is coming when Gabby put it on Xander real quick. But I know the end game is Gabby and Jake, and that even if Gabby and Xander did get together, they would have to be a super hot pairing for them to end the Xander and Sarah pairing. But yeah, because and let's can I talk about another actor on Days of Our Lives I'm not happy with? I don't like. I know he's a fan favorite. People begged for him to come back. I'm not a fan of this Philip either. You know, he does this all the time. He's always bobbing his head. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, mm. It's like every scene he's bobbing his head, like like babies who can't control their neck muscles yet. Good lord. Um. So. Uh, so like I said, you can doubt it, but it's not what you want is what the writer wants. And writers do things that fans hate all the time. Right now, fans are hating that Jake and Gabby aren't together. They're hating like hell on Kate and Jake. And also, Gabby's going to be using Philip to make Jake jealous and also to take a stab at Kate because that's her son. So, yeah, we're going to have a lot going on. But I think that I'm sorry, Gabby and Xander could be an interesting couple. But I actually prefer Xander with Sarah, especially now that she's not telling him to go away every 5 seconds, and that she's literally begging him for the banana. You see the whole episode where Sarah was like begging him to just give her some, and he's like, "I gotta look through these files. I know it's in here somewhere," and she's going stir crazy in the back, like, "Yes, I need the D, the nickname for Richard." And yeah, you're not giving it to me. That was funny to watch because it was a total flip. So uh, isn't it? It's an interesting thing about Jake and Kate because part of me doesn't want to be an ageist, and like I used to watch One Life to Live, and I was all for Dorian and Joey. I loved me some Dorian and Joey, and Dorian and shoot, uh, I can't remember his name now, but he's the guy that came out eventually in real life. David, David something. But yeah, if I could love David and I mean Dorian and Joey, I guess I can love. Uh, let me go grab this real quick. Kate and Abe. My problem with Kate and Abe is they don't really bring anything to the table with each other. I really want Tony to actually be Andre because I actually enjoyed Kate with Andre and the way Tony was going crazy over finding out that Kate was with Jake. I really wouldn't mind seeing Andre Demira with Kate again. I think that was a better pairing. Abe just has no fire, no smoke, no nothing. And my biggest fear is they're bringing Jack A on just to get with Abe and to sort of be what T-Boz was, a little firecracker and spunk that comes in because they said a new loud diva is coming to the cast, and that's going to be Jack A. And he's one of the most boring characters on the show. Yeah, me too. Actually, I would love for Gabby and Xander to have developed a sort of flirtatious relationship. Because sometimes I think Sarah needs a wake up call. Like when she was originally taking Philip's side, I was like, that's not Bonnie and Clyde love. See, I would see if I was the writer, I know how to write a happy couple where the conflict isn't within each other, but the conflict comes from the outside. And that, they have to defend each other, save each other from events, but they still can be romantic and happy. Sort of like a lot of writers just don't know how to do this, and I don't understand why. You got Ben and Sierra, and the way Ben and Sierra was, all the great adventures they were having to get together, once they actually got together, those adventures weren't supposed to stop. But instead, once they were in the happy zone, they just had them having sex all the time. And it's like, okay, that's good, but where's the storyline? you know, um, but there's so many things you can do with a couple once they're together, like they used to do in the '80s. I know there's a lot of older fans that miss. like Luke and Laura going on adventures together, Ice Princes. You know, remember Felicia's actually an Aztec princess, which I know probably be problematic nowadays. But One Life to Live, they went to Eterna and they went to the Wild West and stuff. So you can have fun with soaps. I mean, I wouldn't do an Eterna or Wild West thing, but I mean, they transported all of Salem to an island at one point with the Salem Stalker storyline. So there's so many different things you can do once they're a couple, other than have another woman come in or another man come in to get between them, have them arguing about the kids, uh, just the same few things that cause them to break up. When I love it when the characters are written as a team. I loved when Xander and Sarah were working together as a team to take down Philip. Stuff like that would be exciting. There's supposed to be a Demir versus Titan war coming up, and that would be an amazing to see if they do it right. We used to love stuff like that. Like people still miss the Spectras versus the Foresters over on Bold and Beautiful. The Newmans versus the Abbotts on Young the Restless, General Hospital, the Quartermains versus whoever comes around, trying to get some money from their family, like Sky or somebody. So yeah, we love the rivalries, and it's great to see a good Alexis and Crystal type rivalry, but for some reason they're not going into that bag of tricks. They're staying in one lane of things we've already seen before. Even with the upcoming switch where I think um, Kristen is going to ask uh, shoot Susan to switch with her. So Susan will be the one in jail, and then Kristen will be out pretending to be Susan to check on what's going on with Chloe and Brady. So I think Kristen's a Demira, and she's got enough money and power to have gotten out of them charges, like she's gotten out of so many charges. I think they should just take her out of jail. Just like how they do. Oh, you saved a jailbreak from happening. You get out early. It don't work like that, but in soap operas, yeah. Oh no, you really hate the older characters, Doug and Julie. Well, technically, Doug is in his 90s in real life, and he is rarely on the show. He only makes appearances here and there. Julie, I like her when she don't come off racist. There's so many times where Julie has been problematic. I like that they pointed it out, you know, but fans had a little pushback with that. So let's hear this one. The only wrestlers could have a good storyline if the plane would have crashed. That could have been a stranded. Perfect example. But the only problem with that is they ain't got that kind of money. You're the wrestlers for that. Um, yeah, soaps are strapped for cash, especially since the actors aren't cheap. True. Okay. Thank you, Phoenix. That's what I wanted to see. Can be done with a couple has been done. Been done with. And remember when couples used to have best friends couples? Like it was like Luke and Laura, Mac and Felicia, type situations. And I know that Bo and Hope had the couple friends. Was it like Steve and Kayla and John and Marlena? Where they actually did things together and they really came off like they were friends. I think characters like Gabby need a good female friend. You know, her even when they were talking about her relationship with Kate and all the way they protected each other, I really that should continue. You know, because I have to say this: Kate was all in the wrong. You do not screw your good friend's ex under any circumstances. I've had this argument for years with people in my friendship circles, where I'm a staunch like, people are like, you know what, once you break up, I mean, they're fair game. Not if you're my friend. If you're my friend, you date my ex, we got a problem. And my easiest way to solve it is to end the friendship. That way I have to deal with none of it. I love old man Victor on days. He gets the best lines. He gets the best lines, but uh he needs to take back over Newman. What has Victoria really done with Newman? I mean, come on. I wouldn't mind seeing couples going against each other. Like they've got this Titan war with the mirror that's supposed to be coming. That could be a great fight between Gabby and Jake working against like Chloe and Philip or something. You know, I think that they should either recast EJ or say that he left Sammy. They had an argument. He went in on his way or something. Because I think a lot of people want Sammy with Lucas when she comes back. Because I think Sammy's coming back for 11 months. Yeah, the best example of the new actors in circles is Adam. Adam is caught in a vicious cycle. It's way too soon. There's no news on all my children. Um, uh, there was a recent argument with Kelly Ripa husband Mark Consuelos, I think. And he said they haven't even done the casting yet. So yeah, this is ain't no all my children news. And that was like a couple of weeks ago. We had that interview. Right, Sandy. They don't even have girlfriends. Yeah, yeah. You can't be friends. Then it makes you wonder, like, were you sitting there the whole time just waiting for us to break up because you've been wishing that you could take my place or something? It's, it's too messy. Yeah. Now I do like the fallout between Liam, Hope, Steffi, and Finn, but I don't actually like the storyline. It's like seeing Brooke go off on Steffi, finding out about Hope, things like that. Thomas finding out, all of that was fun to watch. But I feel like we've been here, done that. I really wish they had went in a different direction with that. Hell, it would have been more fun to have Hope be the one to cheat and not know if like Thomas was the father of Liam. That at least would have broke the cycle of Hope, Liam, and Steffi. No, this is what Xander. Yeah, Xander. That's what Xander thinks. But he wants to really keep his relationship with his son. Yes, you find out Monday. Gwen is 100% Jack's daughter. Laura is actually the one that was paying off the mother, and Jack never knew he had a daughter. And the this week, when he finds out that Gwen is really his daughter, when the DNA test comes in, he's going to try to pay her off, which is why she slaps him. Because essentially, that's the same thing that Laura did with his mother, with her mother, or what she thinks Jack did with her mother, saying, "Here, take some money and go away." So she slaps him. But when he discovers the truth that Gwen was telling the truth, she just didn't know it was Laura that she should have been hating, not him. The storyline, like you aren't watching the videos because I mentioned this in the videos a couple of times, but Jack is going to uh, be sympathetic towards Gwen and want to actually reach out and help her. which I'm sure won't sit right with Abigail and Jennifer. Um, when I first started watching Days of Our Lives, Sammy and EJ was together, and Abigail was EJ was cheating with Abigail. But they seemed like a decent couple when I was watching, especially that whole death scene with her crying over his bed. That was very heartbreaking. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We need some like soap villains. I hate that some fans, as soon as somebody starts being a villain, they go, "Oh no, they need to be off the show." Well, where's the drama going to come from if you don't have soap villains? The soap villains is what makes the people you love, uh, in stories you love, overcoming that villain. Yeah, yeah. Well, I've never seen Sammy and Lucas together. When I started watching Days of Our Lives, Lucas was crying over Adrian. That's who he wanted. Xander is quitting Titan. He's quitting Titan and he's joining Gabby Chic. Boo. All my children would like to live. Those were the best. Storyline doesn't make sense. So we talked about General Hospital. We talked some about Days. We talked a little about Young and Restless, Bold and Beautiful. So uh, those some questions out there, and I'll fill in the blanks. Linda Dano, she comes back this week. Well, not come back, but she's Vivian this week. I'm assuming Nell's not dead. I never thought Nell was dead. I really think the body is actually that woman that she stole the car from. That's not Nell. Now Nell committed so many crimes before she disappeared. I don't know how they're going to keep her out of jail, but I don't think that Nell is dead. And also Chloe Lanier is sort of like Sammy, where she doesn't want to do long contracts. She does short stints on General Hospital. So Kristen and Kristen and Brady. I mean, right now they're in the storyline where they're putting Brady and Chloe together, and Kristen is sort of going stir crazy in jail. So she switches places with Susan, and we'll see what shenanigans come from that. Everything I'm reading, the answer is yes. They're trying to put Jack and Sally as a couple, which makes no sense because they should be putting Jack with somebody like Gloria. Sally should have been going after Kyle a long time ago, but I guess they'll eventually have her, Jack and Kyle in love triangle or something. Right now, no, but I'm sure if all my children Pine Valley is a success, then other people may try to duplicate their success. because they've already said if Pine Valley's a success, the next one might be Landview, and we get One Life to Live back. And I think that the other shows, if they see that the ratings are good, um, they're gonna follow suit. But I just want people to know when it comes to Pine Valley, they haven't done the casting, but they did say that they're really looking towards the next generation being the main ones on the show versus the older characters that left off. Networks always want the younger audience because they can charge more for those advertisements. Chase may have ID'd Nell's body, but they also said that it had been out in the ocean and the kind of stuff, and it wasn't like a clear that it was Nell. It's not like they did with Julian, where they said, "Look, that's Julian." No, she was missing for a while, so that they could say that the body you really couldn't tell. Yeah, Brando's on the contract, but usually it's revealed in like the soap trades and whatnot um, of who's on contract, who's not. Um, so yeah, yeah, we can tell, and sometimes the way the credits are, you can tell whether or not a person's on a contract or not. Um, Charlie and Gwen can't date because Charlie's getting murdered. Yeah, actually, I wouldn't have minded if they put Jack and Phyllis back together because they haven't known what to do with Phyllis, and I think that her and Jack could have been a good match again. This made me chuckle. I don't know what it is about Donna, but they definitely aren't really interested in her character, other than her being a glorified extra every now and then because she's a Logan. Um, but if Carter and Donna got together, they probably would spend most of their time off camera, and they wouldn't get a storyline. They would just show up at events as a couple. Yes, sweeps is the month of February. Sometimes it starts like the week before, um, and it ends the week before. So it would be now technically would have started sweeps that last week of January, going into that first week of February. So it's a little tricky, but we got February sweeps, May sweeps, July sweeps, and November sweeps. It used to be August sweeps, but for some reason it got changed to July instead of August. But every 3 months we were getting the sweeps period. Gloria and Jack have had sex, and the previous writer was having them as a couple going out on dates, meeting at the bar. They were going in a direction. When the writers changed, they wrote Gloria out the show. But yeah, Gloria and Jack are a thing. So, and it's a soap opera. Marrying your dead father's wife is kind of normal in a soap opera storyline, especially if he's dead. Yeah, I'm not sure why, if she was fired or if she quit the show. But we do see Charlie every now and then. I haven't heard about this, but I'll keep an eye out for it. I mean, Claire will get a new love interest. Might even be Ben, because Sierra's alive, but we don't know if she's on contract or not. She was always on reoccurring, so this could be a reoccurring with Sarah, because the way it was said in the soap opera February Suite for Days of Our Lives is that they're star-crossed lovers and they can feel each other on the psychic plane. That doesn't mean he's actually going to save her. So the big question would be, if Ben does save Sierra or Sierra escapes, what are they going to do about Hope? Hope is literally looking for her daughter. If she's found, what's her reason for not coming back to town? Um, yeah, Taggart is coming back to the show. Um, on one of the videos, I posted the date of his return. I can't remember it offhand, but I did post his actual return date. Well, there's a lot of people said Ben and Sierra don't belong together because he's a serial killer, and Hope and Bo they complained that they put Hope and Bo's daughter with the serial killer. So where there's so many fans that love Ben and Sierra, there's still people that cringe at the idea that that's still a thing. Thank you for that. Um, yeah, because I remember they said that she would no longer be on the show, and that's when they brought Donna back to be the receptionist. So sorry to hear about. Hold it, didn't they actually Pam? I think I actually did a story on that. Was he like walking across the street and got hit by two cars? I think that's what happened because he was, think going to go see her at the theater across the street, and he got hit by one car, and then the second car ran him over and killed him. If I remember correctly. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember. I did a story on that, so I forgot that. But yeah, you're right. Um, I guess when her husband died, she was no longer worried about getting a paycheck for not really having a storyline, but got some fresh lemon bars for you. I still think the original storyline was Kyle and Theo hooked up before they decided to make them cousins, because that's how I felt. That's the way the writing looked like it was going. I hope Kristen and Brady end up together, but I really don't know the end game they're playing between Brady and Chloe and Brady and Kristen, who he actually ends up with. But I do prefer Brady with Kristen or Eve. That could be interesting. Because what I was thinking was, if Nina finds out that Nell really is alive, that she would do something that could get her, um, like Valentine could get Brooklyn's courts restored or something, and they work together to get Nell out of trouble. Because if Brooklyn doesn't uh, say that Nell did it, like she recants her story, that could definitely be a way for Nell to be able to come back. Mm, okay. I am. Okay. I don't see it. I saw a question I was looking for. Um, yeah, I really, let me pull this up. Yes, I'm also very happy that Nina is actually going to know who her daughter is. Finally, I just really hope that her revenge on Carly and Jax is good. Um, I need that to be good, and I need them to break up Jax and Nina. Yeah, I just think she's scared of the truth. You know, she's on such rocky ground. Yeah, the actor who plays Sonny, he moved to Florida. So when they fired him from the show, he left the state. So they really would have to offer him, make it worth his while for him to actually return to the show and uproot his life again. Um, I think that it doesn't matter. Brooklyn's having Valentine's baby. Valentine loves Nina. Period. He loves Nina, and he wants Nina to be happy. And he feels very guilty that he brought Sasha into the picture and stopped Nina from finding her daughter, her real daughter, because he didn't think she could be found for real. So he has lots of regrets about that. And as much as he may want to be part of his child's life of Brooklyn, they ain't in love. It's not a love story, at least not yet. As far as I know, the only person she slept with that I saw was Valentine because she didn't hook up with Dusty. Um, yeah, I think they are the Bo and Hope 2.0, but she quit the show because she wanted to do other things. And then, Epidemic hit and she couldn't get a job. So now she's just reoccurring. I think the character should be recast if she doesn't want to come back full time. But I prefer her as Sierra. But if she don't want to be there, same thing I say about her. It's like Kirk don't want to be there. Oh, good lord. I agree. I agree. I mentioned that earlier. We've got 2 minutes left, so I'll answer what I can in this last 2 minutes. And I thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I know I didn't announce it. I'm glad I was sitting here by myself, and I'm glad I recognize a lot of you guys. I appreciate the new people too, but um, I recognize a lot of people in the room, and I like reconnecting. So the more you comment, the more I sort of recognize you. Um, and this is something I definitely agree with. But the problem is they pulled up the Brinks truck to get her to go back to Young and the Restless. She was very honest about that she couldn't resist the money they were offering her. I agree. Another thing I agree with, Nell is not dead. I don't have any actress in mind to be the new Sierra. Um, I don't have anyone in mind to be the new Sierra. Just that if an actor doesn't want to be on the show, then you got to keep it moving. Show must go on. And let's remember, she's like the third or fourth Sierra. When Sierra was a little girl, who had been a little girl playing Sierra for a long time, people were crying like, "No, keep her young, keep her that same girl. Let her be like Robin from General Hospital and just be on the show the whole time, or star from One Life to Live." But they recast her with that other horrible actress that had the same storyline Allie has, and they both screwed it up. Oh, you're welcome, JC. You're welcome very much. And it's 8 o'clock. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for hanging with me tonight, and thank you for all your nice messages. And hopefully I answered a lot of your questions. My February sweeps videos are out there, and so is the weekly spoiler videos. So if you're in the membership, I have one more video to film tonight to do for the membership. So um, that's coming probably before 10 o'clock. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope to be seeing you in the next video. Good night.